So coming back to your breath, noticing once again that there are inhales, air arriving into the body. There are exhales, air leaving the body. And then you have some amount of agency over that breath. And so you can begin to act on that if you'd like. There might be a bit more space for the inhale. Maybe a bit more time to slow down your exhales. You might find that as you breathe in, you can lengthen your spine, grow a little taller, take a bit more space. On your breath out, you might be able to relax something that right now doesn't need to be efforting or tense. And if you haven't already, try breathing a bit more through your nose. And right now, just notice any thinking happening. Maybe notice the content of that thinking just for a moment. And then see if you can put that thinking to one side or let it go completely. And bring your attention all to your breath. And take another breath in and out. If your eyes are closed, gently blink them open. And then find a spot in front of you that you can rest your gaze on. And we're going to keep the gaze on that spot. And we're going to just move the head. So choose your spot. And then when you're ready, turn your head towards the right, keeping your eyes on that same spot. And only go as far with your head as you can keep your gaze on that spot. And you might feel kind of a stretch around your eyeballs. And then bring your head back through center. Blink your eyes a few times. Soften the muscles around your eyes. And then same thing, we'll turn the head towards the left. Keep your eyes, your gaze on that same spot. And then return head through center. Again, give your eyes a gentle blink, or you might even close your eyelids softly and just let your eyeballs rotate behind the eyelids. And then eyes open, and now we're going to take it up and down. So set your gaze once again, that same spot or a different one. And then when you're ready, drop the chin towards your chest, keeping your gaze on that same point. And then bring the head back through center. If it feels good, again, a blink through the eyes. Set your eyes when you're ready, And then this time, chin towards the ceiling, keeping your eyeballs on that same point. You might catch a glimpse of your nose. And then return your head back through center. Just notice how eyes are feeling, muscles around them. And again, maybe blink, maybe a few rotations. And then from here, take a full inhale. And then let your eyes, head go along together, right hand behind us, and left hand crosses over as you find a twist towards the right side. And then come back through center, and then find a gentle twist towards the left side. And then back through center, again towards the right. And center, and towards the left. We'll do one more of each, but this time we're going to pause. So next time you go to the right, pause there. Maybe move the head, looking over one shoulder, and then looking over the other. And then bring head through center, torso through center, and let's find the twist towards the left. We'll hold it here. And again, you could invite some movement through your neck. And looking over one shoulder and the other. And then head, torso come back through center. Take your arms out and up. And then take your arms out and down. With your breath, inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Again, lift. And lower. Another one, lift. Lower. Two more. Breathing in, take your time. Breathing out. And one more. And then next time the arms come up, interlace your fingers overhead, palms towards the ceiling, and give yourself a stretch here. Feel it through the fingers, the palms of your hands. Maybe you feel a stretch through the wrists, through your armpits. Maybe here you bend your elbows some. Think about your elbows going left to right, and there's a stretch through armpits. Maybe you feel it a bit more through the side ribs. Take another inhale. And then as you exhale, release this. Now palms are facing out, shoulders more or less in line with wrists. So arms more or less in line with shoulders. That sounds better. And then from here, with your palms facing out, begin to circle your arms. Push a little bit more through the heel of your hands. Maybe spread your fingers. And then switch direction. Doing this with your shoulders away from your ears, maybe a little slower. And then pause that, make a fist, and rotate your wrists a few times in one direction. And a few times in the other. With your next inhale, open up your hands, palms face forward, take your arms back any amount. And then on your exhale, right arm over left and hug. Inhale, open. Left arm over right, hug. Inhale, open. Exhale, hug, switch. Inhale, open. Exhale, hug, other. On your inhale, open, turn your palms to face back and then grab a hold of your chair or your other hand and then squeeze those shoulder blades, puff your chest forward and up. Notice that stretch through the fronts of your shoulders. Take a breath in. And then on your exhale, keep that, but lower the chin to your chest. See if you can feel the stretch through the back of your neck. And take another breath. And then as you inhale, release your hands. You could reach your arms tall if that feels good. And as you exhale, release your arms all the way down and bring your hands to rest on your thighs. Bring the shoulders up by your ears, squeeze them in. And then drop them slowly down. And then again, inhale, lift. Slowly exhale to lower. Another one, inhale, lift. And exhale to lower. Nice job. With your next inhale, lift the heels of the feet. Come onto the balls of the feet or maybe to your tiptoes. And then exhale, press the heels down. So feel some action through your legs. And then again, inhale, lift. And exhale, press down. So you're not just dropping, you're pushing down. And again, inhale, lift. Exhale, press down. One more time. Inhale to lift. And exhale to press down. Now with your next inhale, heel to toe your feet out. And then heel to toe your feet back in slowly. And again, slowly out. And slowly back in. And another one, taking them out. And bringing them back. And then with your next inhale, bring the right knee into your chest. You could do hand around shin or behind thigh, and then find some rotation through your right ankle. And then slowly rotate in the opposite direction, so a bit slower. And then we'll pause that and we'll take it to some hip rotation. So if your hands were around your shin, you could keep them there, but it might be nicer to bring the hands behind the thigh. You could do one hand, you could do two hands. And then rotate in the other direction. Nice. Maybe last one, a little slower. Feeling the amount of range that is available today here. And then return your right foot to the ground. Same thing with the left. Left knee comes in, give it a squeeze. And then find some movement through your ankle. And even if you've done this so many times before, it wasn't today. So your ankle is a little different than it was other times. See what you can feel, notice here, switch direction. And then pause that, and when you're ready, take it to some hip circles. On this side, again, two hands, one hand. And then switch direction. And then bring that knee through center and plant your left foot. Hands again to your thighs, bring the shoulders up. And then now only drop your right shoulder. Drop is not the word, lower. Drop feels like you're just letting it go. Here you're controlling the lowering. And then again, inhale, lift. And now your left shoulder. And lift and switch. And lift. And switch. And then on your inhale, lift. Keep your shoulders lifted. Maybe lift them a little bit more on your next inhale. And then as you exhale, just lower them halfway. And then lower them all the way. Okay. Heel to toe your feet out. And then pause here. Maybe you bring your feet in a bit because we're going to lift the heels. We're going to lift the right heel. And then we'll lower it. We'll lift the left. And we'll lower. And again, right. Lower. Left. Lower. Now both at the same time. Lift. Lower. Again, lift. Lower. One more lift. And lower. And then heel to toe your feet back in. Bring your arms out into a T. Take an inhale. Maybe take them back. And then on your exhale, bring palm to palm in front of you. Arms extended. Inhale again, open. And exhale, cross the right arm over the left. But keep your arms extended and you're reaching. So feel kind of a constriction here around the fronts of your armpits. And then inhale, open, make space. Exhale, left arm over right. Your arms stay extended, but you're squeezing the fronts of your armpits towards one another. And then inhale again, open. Exhale, palm to palm. We'll do one more of each. Inhale, open. Right arm over left. Keep reaching through those fingers. Inhale, open. And left arm over right. On your inhale, open, turn your palms to face back, and again, slide the hands behind you. You might grab the back of your chair, or if you're grabbing the opposite hand, maybe interlace your fingers the opposite way. So it's probably the one that feels kind of awkward, the one that you don't go for, like by default. And then open that chest, squeeze the shoulder blades. Think about your arms coming a little closer together behind you. Chest forward. And again, you could drop the chin to your chest if that feels good. Maybe some movement through your head from side to side. Take another breath. One more. And then as you inhale, release those hands. If it feels good, reach your arms up. And on your exhale, release your arms down. Hands return to your thighs, and again, heel to toe your feet out. This time we're pausing here. And we're going to keep the hands on the thighs, thumb inside, fingers outside. Take an inhale to lengthen. And then on your exhale, send that left shoulder forward, down. Turn your torso towards your right thigh and push your left thigh away. Breathe here. And then use your next inhale to come back through center, and let's switch. Right shoulder forward, down. So there's like this turn towards your left, and then there's a flexion here, like you leaning over your left thigh as you push your right thigh away. Breathe. And then on your inhale, return through center. One more of each. To the right. Center. And to the left. On your inhale, come back through center. Reach your arms up. And as you exhale, bend your elbows, more or less 90-degree angles, your palms facing forward. We're going to draw those elbows back, broadening the chest. And now think about your elbows coming forward towards one another, but try not to bring your hands or your forearms to touch. So it's about your elbows coming towards each other. There you go. And then again, inhale, open. Exhale, elbow to elbow. And one more, open. And exhale, elbow to elbow. On your inhale, extend your arms. And as you exhale, release your arms down. Heel to toe your feet back in. And then bring the right knee into your chest. Give it a squeeze. And then from here, your hands behind the thigh, and we'll bend and straighten through that right knee. So see if you can keep your thigh in the same position, and then you're pushing away through the heel as you extend, and then you're pulling back as you bend. And then again, push away to straighten any amount, and then pull back to bend. There you go. And then again, push away. And then bend. And then one more, extend. And then from here, you choose. Maybe your hands stay here. Maybe you let go of the leg. And then slowly, we're going to lower. All the way down. Heel meets the ground. You might scoot a little forward on your chair. Bring your hands to your hip creases here. So right leg stays extended. And we'll take a full breath in, lengthening the spine. And then from here, hinge any amount forward and down. So as best you can, try to keep your spine neutral, and the folding comes from your hips. So if your hands are your hip creases, you should feel like your fingers are getting sandwiched. Pause, another breath. Try to soften through the face. And then on your inhale, rise up. You could sweep your arms overhead. You know where we're going. Twist towards the left side. Exhale. And we'll do that movement a few more times. Come back through center, breathing in. Hands to hips, hinge, breathing out. See if you can pair it with your breath. Again, inhale, coming up. Exhale, twisting left. Inhale, up. Exhale, hinging. 2 more. The next time you come through center, reaching your arms tall. On your exhale, bring your hands down to your hips. And then we're going to try lifting that right leg without bending it. So you're going to push through the heel. And then when you're ready, see if you can lift. Bend that knee, hover the foot over the ground. Plant the heel, plant the ball of the foot, and then plant your toes. With your next breath in, sweep your arms up. And on your exhale, a side bend to the left. Come back through center. And side bend right. 1 more of each. Center. And left. And center. And right. As you inhale, come back through center. And on your exhale, release your arms down and bring your left knee in towards your chest. Give it a squeeze. And then we'll do all of that on this side. So when you're ready, your hands under that left thigh. Keep the thigh in position. It can be lower, it can be higher, but just keeping it in the same place as you bend and straighten your left knee. And a bit more action as you straighten. So imagine you were pushing something away. And then imagine you pulling something back towards you as you bend. And again, straighten. And bend. And straighten. And bend. 1 more just like that. And then the next time that your leg is straight, keeping your hands under the thigh, maybe letting it go slowly at your own pace, but try to slow things down. We'll lower that left foot all the way down to the ground. Once the heel touches the ground, again, you might resituate yourself on your chair. Bring your hands to your hip crease. Find that length of the spine. And then from here, find that hinge. Any amount. And only go as far as you can keep that neutral spine. So as you find, when you find yourself rounding, back up a bit until you can keep that chest broad, that spine long. Okay. Take another breath, wherever you are. Nice. And then as you breathe in, rise up, maybe sweep your arms overhead. On your exhale, right hand behind you, left hand crosses. Let's find that twist to the right side. And then we'll move like that a few more times. Inhale brings you through center. Try to coordinate the movement with your breath. Exhale, find that hinge. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist right. 2 more at your own pace. The next time you come through center, maybe arms reach tall. And as you exhale, release those arms, bring them again to your hips, and then let's try and lift that left leg. So again, engage it. I think like pushing away, drawing the toes towards the shin helps engage, and then see if that leg can lift. And then we'll bend, hovering that left foot. And then we'll lower the heel, the ball of the foot, and the toes. And then once the foot is on the ground, hands to your thighs, and again, shoulders up. Exhale, shoulders down. Another one, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more, lift. And lower, nice job. Heel to toe your feet out. And then we're coming again onto the balls of the feet. So heels lifted, and then we're going to sweep those knees from side to side. Okay, so when you're ready, take that right knee forward and down, turn towards your left. And then open up through that right knee, center, and then left knee forward and down, turn to the right. And then again, back through center and to the left. Nice. And back through center and to the right. Back through center, we're going left, and we're going to find a lunge here. So you're going to plant your left foot. You might walk it out a bit. You might bring your right foot in, your right knee more under your hip, and then you're facing completely to what was your left side. Your left arm can rest on the back of your chair. It's a nice support. Okay. And then play with your right leg. So first, let's bring some attention to the glute and the hip, and think about engaging your right glute to push your right hip forward a bit. And now forward is to the left, okay? See if you can feel some engagement and some stretch through the front of the hip. And then keep that engagement, keep that action, and maybe slide your right foot back some. And it might not go very far, the knee doesn't have to straighten. And then keep that, and we'll work a bit with that right arm. So palm is facing in, and we're going to sweep that right arm forward, up by the ear, any amount, and then down. With your breath, 2 more. Inhale, up. Exhale, and down slowly. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. And then from here, bring your right knee once again under the hip, and then we're going to make our way back through center. And we'll take all of that to the other side. So when you're ready, you're turning towards your right. Plant your right foot. And make any adjustments here that are needed. Start with your left knee, more or less under your left hip. And then see if you can find a bit more squeeze through your left glute. So the idea of pushing the floor away with your left foot, and also kind of pushing your left hip forward a bit more, kind of to align it next to the right hip. So you're completely facing to what was the right side when you were facing forward. Right arm can rest on the back of the chair. And then think about your torso lifted, head reaching tall, your shoulders over your hips. Maybe here that left foot slides back some. And then we'll work with that left arm. So palm is facing in, sweep it forward and up with your inhale, filling that left lung. Exhale, allow that arm to come back down. Again, inhale, really breathe, fill that left side. Exhale and release. 1 more, inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Nice job, bring that left knee back and then come all the way back through center, heel to toe your feet back in. Nice work. Bring the right knee up, and then cross your right thigh all the way over the left. Think about your right foot moving towards your left leg, and then open your arms out into a T. And on your exhale, right arm under left, give yourself a hug. Maybe you stay here with your hands at the shoulders. Maybe your elbows can stay stacked and your forearms free up to lift. Okay, but see if you can keep your elbows stacked. Nice. Tops of the hands might be coming towards one another. You could stay here. You should be feeling quite the stretch around your upper back. Try to drop the shoulders and take another breath. And another one. And then on your inhale, unwind your arms, maybe reach them up. And as you exhale, release your arms down and unwind your legs. Same thing on the other side. Left knee comes in, and then left thigh all the way over the right. When you're ready, take your arms out into a T, broaden chest. And then on your exhale, left arm under right this time. Again, hands to shoulders can be a perfect one here, okay? So that stacking of your elbows gives you a stretch through the upper back. If you can keep your elbows stacked, maybe your forearms lift. When your forearms lift, it's like your arms are kind of caught here, and that you can start kind of pushing arm into arm, and that will also give you that stretch. We'll try to keep your shoulders away from your ears and find a full breath in. A breath out. Another one. And last one. And then unwind your arms. If it feels good to reach them tall, do so. And exhale, release them down and unwind your legs, feet plant. Give yourself a moment here if you'd like, eyes closed. Notice any sensations in the physical body. And now notice any dialogue in the mind. And then let that go, open your eyes, and we'll make our way up to stand. So if you'd like, block between the knees, maybe not. Maybe you use your hands to prop yourself up. Maybe you swing your arms forward as you lift, inhale. And lower, exhale. And again, lift. And lower. And one more, lift. Nice job. And lower. With your next breath in, we'll lift. And we stay. Bring hands to your chest. You could interlace your fingers, give your wrists a nice roll. Shoulders away from your ears. Softness through the face. And then straighten legs. Maybe reach your arms up if that feels good. A whole body stretch here. And then take as much space as you can as you lower your arms out and all the way down by your side. Yay. All right. Okay, let me see. Let's do a bit of table poses using the chair. So we'll find a little bit of core engagement, core support here. So start in your mountain pose facing your seat and just shift your weight forward and back on the soles of the feet. Maybe give your shoulders a roll. We've been sitting for a bit, so allow the body to get acquainted to standing. And then find some stillness. And then when you're ready, sweep your arms overhead. As you exhale, a side bend to the right. Inhale, back through center. Exhale to your left. Inhale, center. On the exhale, we're folding towards the chair. Plant your hands and halfway lift, straightening through your arms. On your exhale, bending your elbows and folding, maybe dropping the head. Let's do that again. Inhale, straighten arms, half lift or table. Exhale and fold. A bit more of a hinge from your hips. One more time, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Now on your inhale, find that halfway lift, and we're going to work here. So look for more or less a flat back as best you can, that neutral spine. And then that left leg is going to extend behind you. You're lifting it any amount, see if you can keep it straight. Imagine that you were pushing something away through the heel of that left foot, and you're drawing the toes towards your shin. See if you can keep it lifted. And now look down. There's nothing to see on the screen, so look down between your hands. And then see if you can feel your shoulder blades kind of spread a little bit more left and right. So you're broadening your upper back. And now lengthen the back of your neck. Take another breath. And then on your exhale, return that left foot to the ground. All right, nice job. We're going to do the same with the right. So ground through your left foot and then sweep your right leg back behind you. Again, pushing away through the heel, drawing the toes towards the shin. And then looking down between your hands as you broaden upper back and lengthen back of your neck. Another breath. And then slowly return right leg down. See if you can keep the rest of the body just as is. One more time each side. Left leg lifts. Broaden upper back, lengthen back of the neck. Push away through the heel and reach forward through the top of the head. Exhale slowly, lowering that leg. Nothing else changes. Right leg, inhale, lift it behind you. Again, nothing else changes. See if you can keep all the rest of the body just as is. Nice, nice job. Another breath in. And exhale, right leg lowers. As you inhale, bend your knees. We're coming into chair pose, just like we did earlier. Lifting through the torso, maybe sweeping your arms up. And on your exhale, bring hands to your heart. Pause for a moment here, that imaginary chair you're sitting in, strong through your thighs. See if you can lift your torso, broaden through your chest. So rather than being hunched forward, see if you can find a little bit more lift. There you go, nice. And then straighten legs, you could reach your arms up. And on your exhale, take as much space as you can, arms wide and down by your side. All right, so we're going to do that again, but now I'm going to guide you to bring a bit more attention to kind of the ribs, the lower belly, and we're going to work on stabilizing that. But the shape will be the same, okay? So again, see if you can kind of tune in and notice these parts as I mention them in your body. So when you're ready, sweep your arms up, inhale. Exhale, side bend. Come back through center and to your other side, exhale. Back through center and forward fold. Plant your hands, find that halfway lift and pause. Okay. When you're ready, that left leg extends behind you. See if you can keep it lifted. Same idea as before, so that back body is broad, back of the neck is long. But now bring your attention to your lower ribs, and rather than letting them drop towards the floor, Think about your lower ribs pulling away from the floor. So you're drawing them gently in towards your spine. And you're doing the same with the area kind of behind the belly button. See how that feels? Take a breath in, breath out. One more inhale. And then keep all of that and just lower your left leg back to the floor. When you're ready, right leg behind you lifts. Nice, nice, nice stability here. Again, bringing awareness to those parts, making any little adjustments, you know, because we forget about them, we let them go, and then you just make these micro little movements that from the outside don't seem like much, but from the inside should feel that you're really stabilizing here your posture. You're feeling stronger also. When you're ready, lower your right foot. We'll do one more each side. Inhale, left leg. Again, drawing those lower ribs gently in, keeping that broadness through your upper back. Lowering that left leg. Last one, right leg lifts. Pushing away through the heel. And then right foot returns. Nice work. Bend both knees. Come back into your chair pose. And bring hands to your heart. If it feels nice for your wrist, give them some rolls, rotation here. And again, see if you can invite that torso to be a bit more lifted, the shoulders down. And then push the floor away, straightening legs, maybe reaching arms tall, and then sweeping those arms wide and all the way down by your side. All right, that was our standing for today. We're going to come back to seated. You could do chair, recliner, sofa, or floor. And if you are doing floor, the transition to the floor is part of your practice. So take your time and don't feel rushed. Make it intentional, that transition, the lowering down. Good practice, right? All right, so I'll meet you whenever you get there, seated. And then let's do soles of the feet together and knees wide. And then once you are there, if you are seated on the floor, you could do hands around your shins or your ankles, or you could also do hands behind you or framing your hips to kind of give yourself this little prop up. Sometimes hands in front kind of makes us round a bit more. So you choose here, but then we'll find a bit of movement through those legs. So we're going to lift and lower those knees a few times. And then you could get here a bit of kind of momentum and just now the legs are kind of going on their own almost. And then the next time that your knees are down, let them kind of drop. Allow gravity to do some of the work for you. See how that feels. See if you can broaden your chest and lengthen your spine. Maybe even close your eyes for a couple breaths. And if your eyes are closed, gently open them. And now we're just going to try straightening the right leg. So sliding your right foot out and then bringing it back in. And then sliding your left out and bringing it back in. One more of each, right There you go. And back in. And left. And bring it back in. And then from here, bring your knees up, plant your feet, and let's lower onto our backs. You could come onto your side, roll over, or you could reach your arms out in front of you, taking a full inhale. And then slowly lowering, feeling that back body making contact with the ground, section by section. And this control in the lowering is going to work that strength through the core, the center of the body. Whenever the back body is completely supported by ground or surface, bring the knees into your chest. And if you're on the ground, you might rock a little bit, lifting and lowering your sacrum if that feels good. And then we'll move into a reclined figure 4. So keep your right knee drawing in, plant your right foot, knee bent, and then cross your right ankle over your left thigh. If you are seated, you could also cross the ankle over the shin. So you could extend your left leg and cross ankle over shin, or even ankle over ankle. But think about your right knee pointing away from you towards the right side. You could stop here, stillness, hands resting on your torso, or you could let your legs rock a little bit side to side, if that feels good. And then as you're ready, release this, right foot down, knee is bent, and bring the left knee into your chest. And then when you're ready, find your figure 4 on this side. Ankle crosses over thigh or over shin. Left knee points away from you. And then maybe stillness or a little side to side movement. And then as you're ready, release what you have. We're moving to Shavasana. So if there's any last minute movements that you could benefit from, definitely go there. Eventually find the most comfortable place for you. A place where the body can rest. A place where you can watch the mind, witness the thoughts, the dialogue, the narrative. But it's also a place where you don't have to do anything about all of that. You are watching, witnessing, no need to react, to respond, no need to change anything right now. You're gathering information about yourself. Nothing else to do. Shavasana. As always, if a longer Shavasana is available, you'd like to take it, please do. If not, if you're ready to move on, do it intentionally, with presence, bringing awareness to your breath, and letting your breath inform some gentle movement back into the body. Moving in any way that feels right to you. No rush, eventually making your way into a seat. As you get there, you might choose to rest your hands in your lap or bring them to your chest. Your eyes might stay closed for a bit longer. You might take a deep breath in and a long breath out. We'll take this moment to acknowledge, appreciate the practice itself, a practice that provides endless opportunities to learn about ourselves. We'll take this moment also to acknowledge ourselves and our own practice, to acknowledge, to appreciate, to remember those who have practiced with us, and to acknowledge and appreciate all those who have made it possible. Ending with a word that means that the light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste.